This is Sandy Tankis for TOS50.com, the other side of 50. And I'm in Los Angeles, California. And I'm with somebody named Rob Maslen. Hi, Rob.
Hello. I'm so not used to being on this side of the camera. But
Right.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Don't let me interrupt you.
Rob is a TV studio engineer. And why don't you tell us what that is?
What that basically means is that I run equipment. I operate equipment that runs the station, and it can be a multitude of different jobs. I may do something different every day, or I might do one job for a few hours and then do something else. The thing that most people might be familiar with would be obviously camera operation, which I do. I work at a local TV station here in Los Angeles, KTLA Channel 5. They have a large 5.5 morning news block and then several other newscasts throughout the day. So I might find myself doing camera one day, which is just literally operating the camera as people are used to saying. I might do video, which means that during the course of the broadcast I would be in an area where the cameras are controlled electronically, the light levels, what they call the shading, the color, adjusting the color, that kind of thing. Sometimes I might run KTLA's master control area, which is really the output of the station where all the program sources, commercials, the segments of the shows, various other things are switched. Also, the transmitter, which is on a nearby mountain, is remotely controlled to master control. So there's a number of functions that go on in the master control area.
How did you get into this kind of work?
I kind of grew up with TV. I was sort of born right around the time TV was born, and we had a TV set in the house very early. I can not remember a time when there wasn't a TV there, and I was always sort of fascinated by it. And when I was 4, there was a number of children's shows were on the air at the time, and my father took me to a TV show called the Doyo Dell Show. He was a cowboy, and he had lots of kids. Kids would come in and be on the show and be on the stage, sort of on a set area, and I was just blown away and totally fascinated by what I saw. And as I sat there, I kind of was able to piece together, even as a 4-year-old, what was going on. And I remember I came back from, it was an incredible experience. I remember most of it to this day, even to like where we parked the car. And I came back and I told my mother that when I grow up I want to be a TV cameraman. That was the term in those days. And she sort of laughed and like, yeah, right. But I tried to explain to her, no, this is what I really want to do, and that's what I really stuck with it. Became more and more interested as the years went on, and I grew up in the Hollywood area. So during summers when I was 9, 10 years old, I would during summer vacation get on my bike. I'd dash right up to Hollywood where their shows were were either live or were being videotaped. In those days, when I would ask people in line for extra tickets, usually people had a few extra tickets, or somebody that made away for a group of 5, 4, 6 tickets, and they had a few left over. So I had no trouble getting in to see the shows, and I saw and I grew up also near CBS TV City, so I would get in to see Red Skelton, Jack Benny, Carol Burnett, all the big shows of the time. And my interest sort of grew. I took radio and TV at LA City College and then Cal State Northridge, and luckily I got into KTLA in the mailroom and was able to work my way into engineering from there. Sort of the last.
And do you see yourself retiring at any time?
I suppose so, but not now. You know what I mean? I suppose at some point down the line, I will. But for the time being, I mean, it's not. There's not. I don't really feel a lot of pressure. Even though there are pressure, situations there, it's sort of like if you do the best you can, nothing really is,
And is there anything that stands out in your mind as being more different than other things, or more memorable than other things that you've done? Maybe a particular star or a particular situation.
I've seen so many movie stars over the years doing. They used to tape a lot of network. They had a tape facility at KTLA, which they sold off at one point. But I used to work on a lot of network and syndicated shows, and I've seen so many movie stars that it just sort of all runs together. Every once in a while there'd be somebody sort of special, but I've seen so many that I don't know. As far as that part of it, nobody really stands out. One of the most memorable things, though, is that in the earlier years of this morning news show, it's a real loose and kind of a crazy show. You know, a lot of goofing off. And in the early days of it, they used to horse around with the crew a lot. And I was moving at one point, and I found a bunch of magic tricks that I had had from when I was a child, and I brought them in just to show my friends at work, and they caught wind of it, and somebody said, "How'd you like to do one on the show?" So I said, "Sure. Why not?" So I did a magic trick on the show, and next thing I know, they wanted me to do a magic trick every week. And I thought, great. Now I've got about enough tricks to last me for about 3 weeks. So, but I said yes, and but I went up, bought a lot of tricks, found a lot of tricks that I had in storage from when I was a kid, and kind of rehashed them. And this magic thing probably went on for about maybe 7 years, on and off, mostly on for about 7 years. And the show was an overwhelming #1 during the time that I was doing it. And there was a period where everywhere I went, all the time, people were recognizing me. I couldn't even cross the street without people yelling hello, and so that was really, one of the more remarkable experiences of
Well,
my so-called career.
Thank you so much for speaking with us.
My pleasure.
And it sounds like you have a career that you really enjoy.
I do.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye bye.